What I want to talk about in this video is the Cybertool. Let me zoom in a little bit. The Cybertool, made by Victorinox, is very much like their other tools. They first came out in the year 2000, but it has this addition called a Cybertool bit holder. They use these interchangeable bits with a ball bearing on a spring to hold it in with friction. What's nice is that it's a 4mm standard. Other companies make that. What's bad about it, though, is that the spring mechanism for that ball bearing is the friction that holds it in, and most companies don't use that. They use a magnet at the bottom, and installing a magnet here is a little iffy proposition because the bottom surface down there is not a flat surface. It's got a embossed number 1 on it. Anyway, I've always thought this is kind of a cool tool. These recently got put on sale at DLT Trading at a good price, $69. That's pretty good. These used to be well over $100. So if you're looking for a Cybertool, this one called the Model L, they used to call it a Cybertool 41 for $69.95 plus shipping. Is not a bad deal at DLT Trading. In addition to the bit that you store here, which is two-sided, you also have a holder here where you have 3 other bits. You might be able to screw a hole in here and put in 1 extra bit that they don't have there. This acts both as the flipper mechanism to get the extra bits, as well as a stop, so that when you have the bit in here, it can't fall out thanks to that stop. So the first thing almost everyone's going to think of when they get this is, boy, wouldn't it be cool if it could hold full-size 1/4-inch bits? So I went on a quest of how can I modify this to use 1/4-inch bits. Much more standard, easier to find, and a larger array of possible options than this little weird format, this 4mm format with the spring ball bearing. So I bought a couple of devices. I cut them down because I wanted them to fit in a Tic Tac box or an Altoids tin, and here they are. This was my first attempt. This one is held in with friction because I've coated the bottom with nail polish. I have no idea how long this is going to last. It's possible that it'll wear out over time. And then it holds the bits in here. And the bits are held in also with friction. However, for the top part, I used super glue as my friction as opposed to nail polish. So that's one way to hold 1/4-inch bits. Another one is this. This device used to be much longer, but I took a very strong hacksaw, a carbide grit hacksaw blade from Stanley, and then I sawed this part off. And now this one holds bits also, but it holds them with a spring mechanism up top. It makes it larger, however, and heavier. And then at the bottom here, I've installed a little baby magnet. You can buy these little teeny magnets, like 200 of them for $9. And this now holds in the Cyber bit with a magnetic lock. But it holds it in there, it won't fall out. And I've designed it so it's long enough so that you can also use it while closed. So I thought this might be a good thing to make a video about, just to show people how can you hold 1/4-inch bits in these Cybertools. Keep in mind this mechanism and that little magnet, I can't tell you how durable it's going to be. These are also for kind of low torque applications. If you have a very high torque application, I'm not going to recommend this, but it does work for my applications, which is typically small scale electronics. And the friction of the bit holder, there's a spring up here that holds these bits in place. So now I've got a great design that holds on to full-size bits. I have great reach, and I could cut this down even further if I didn't want so much reach. I used a few different criteria for deciding how long to make it. It obviously needed to reach over this height, so I sort of could only make it a few millimeters smaller if I maintain that rule. I also wanted to be sure it would fit a tic-tac box diagonally without a bit in place. So it'll fit inside this if I make a little bit kit out of one of these. It also, of course, will fit a Altoids tin. And when it's held on the side of the tool, it also doesn't extend beyond the top or the bottom. And sort of by coincidence, when I put it in here and I put this here, it sticks out just a little bit on the sides, but otherwise it's kind of fully contained in this right there. This was a pretty cool adapter and pretty easy to make. All you need is a very hard saw for your hacksaw, or you could use a Dremel, and then you cut this down. The Weha 28581. Thanks for watching.